From the Detroit Free Press, it's Wednesday, May 13th. Michigan now has more than 48,000 coronavirus cases and more than 4,600 deaths. There were an additional 469 cases and 90 deaths reported Tuesday. But it's important to know the 90 deaths reported yesterday include 19 that were discovered in a review of death certificates and did not occur in the 24-hour period. Here are today's top stories.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Meredith Spalbring. Face masks are mandatory in indoor public spaces in Michigan. But just because they're mandatory does not mean all have taken to the new habit easily. Be it for reasons of comfort or feeling like they make a political statement, the masks have become a point of contention in recent weeks. The issue was in the national spotlight after a security guard at a Family Dollar in Flint was killed after he turned a customer away for not wearing a mask. In the days that followed, several other mask protests cropped up across the state. While the extreme behavior is not indicative of the entire population, it is a visible partisan difference. According to an AP poll, Democrats are more likely to wear a face mask when leaving the House compared to Republicans. The partisan difference stems largely from the mixed messaging people have been given since the very start. After advising the general public against wearing masks, the World Health Organization and CDC later reversed course. When facing conflicting information from political elites and a large culture shift, people are most likely to fall back on what makes them feel the most comfortable and normal. Right now, for some, despite medical advice or state restrictions, that may mean not covering their face.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Darcy Moran. A Detroit school swim teacher is expected to be arraigned today on a charge of involuntary manslaughter in the death of a 15-year-old student. The Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says that 47-year-old Kareem Sigler of Detroit was grossly negligent in failing to properly supervise his student. The 15-year-old Deshaun Blanding had a class with Sigler at 11:20 a.m. February 24th at Mumford High School, and prosecutors say sometime after that class started, Sigler was in another room when a student informed him that Blanding was at the bottom of the pool. Prosecutors say Sigler dove in and removed Blanding from the water with the help of other students, then told them to call 911 as he gave medical aid. Sigler is set for arraignment in Detroit's 36th District Court and faces up to 15 years in prison if convicted. For more, check out freep.com.
This is Free Press Sports Editor Chris Thomas. Vegas is betting against the Detroit Lions in 2020, and it's hoping you're not betting on Tom Brady. The Lions have long shot 70-1 odds to win the Super Bowl, according to Bovada Sportsbook in Las Vegas, which means don't spend your money on the Lions this season, as if you would. Instead, spend it on Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have put Vegas sportsbooks in a precarious situation on futures bets. Here's how Pat Morrow, head oddsmaker at Bovada, explained it to the Free Press. Quote, "It's the biggest liability from a futures perspective in the sportsbook's history when Week 1 begins," he said. "I can sense Vegas shaking in its boots. The numbers help explain why. Tampa Bay was a 50-1 long shot to win the 2020 Super Bowl in February, soon after the 2019 season ended. As speculation bubbled on Brady leaving the Patriots and heading south, the odds shifted to 20-1 and then 15-1. When Brady signed in March, it fell to 12-1. And when his old pal Rob Gronkowski came out of retirement to follow him to Florida, the Bucs' odds of winning the Super Bowl dropped to 10-1, fourth best in the NFL. What's it all mean? Nothing if Tampa Bay doesn't win the Super Bowl. But if it does, it could send a shockwave through Vegas. In fact, the only thing that might be more surprising, I suppose, would be for the Lions to end their 63-year championship drought. I have a feeling Vegas won't lose any sleep worrying about that."
If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.